probability. So let us now understand three very important basic definitions. Okay. The first one is random experiment. We simply write RE, random experiment. What is random experiment? It is an experiment in which outcome is not certain. In which outcome is not certain or not sure. Of course, outcome is not certain, but it has to be one of the possible outcomes only. For example, suppose if you toss a coin. So when you toss a coin, see, if you know the outcome, there is no one will do the tossing of coin right before starting a game or anything. Okay, so we do not know. That's why we toss it. So one will say head, one will say tail. Okay, so outcome is not certain, but it has to be either head or tail only. So we need to understand like that. Outcome is not certain, but it has to be one of the possible outcomes. Similarly, when you roll a dice, so the outcome may be 1, 2, 3 like this. It has to be one of the possible outcomes only. It has to be one of the possible outcomes only. But you don't know which one you are going to get in the present or current situation or current role. What is the outcome? You do not know. The outcome is not sure, not certain. Am I clear? Like that. Maybe Shakuni might be knowing in Mahabharata, but not generally we know what is the current outcome. So that is the idea. Not certain. Outcome is not certain. Is the idea clear? Similarly, when you take out a card from pack of 52 cards, okay, you do not know what is the outcome, but it has to be one of the possible 52 cards. Okay, so an experiment in which current outcome is not sure or not certain is what is known as random experiment. Okay, now comes the second definition, which is sample space. So when you roll a dice, you do not know what is the current outcome, but it has to be one of the possible outcomes, right? And what are the possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this collection of all outcomes or set of all outcomes is what is known as sample space. So mathematically, what is sample space? The set of all possible outcomes. Set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. Set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is what is known as sample space. So that is the idea. Then comes event. The third definition is event. Mathematically, event is a subset of sample space. A subset of sample space is event. Because sample space is a full set, a part of it is called event. Now, in general sense, what is event? For example, your random experiment is rolling a dice. Then what is sample space? The collection of outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is collection of all outcomes or set of all outcomes, sample space. Now event is the outcomes of our interest. In a general sense, event is outcomes of our interest. What outcomes we are interested in. For example, if I say getting a multiple of 3. Getting a multiple of 3. So what are the multiples of 3? 3 and 6. So these are the favorable outcomes or outcomes we are interested in. Outcomes favorable to this event. This is called event. So mathematically, what is this? It is a subset of S only. This is an event. Mathematically, it is a subset of sample space. Generally, what is event? Outcomes of our interest. What we are interested in? Multiples of 3. So outcomes of our interest is what is known as event. Okay. So what I do is I take up one example where I write random experiment. Then I write sample space. Then I write event. Actually, event. Generally in class, I ask this first question rolling a dice. A single die is rolled. How many of you know this particular problem? I asked this particular question. Some people raise their hands. You can also check whether you know this particular problem or not. Okay. So after completing, I ask this question once again, then you know it or not, we'll decide. Okay. Rolling a dice. So when you roll a dice, what is the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is collection of all outcomes. Now event can be getting odd number. So this can be event which is 1, 3, 5. Yeah, your event can be getting even number. So what is this event? 2, 4, 6. Or your event can be getting prime number. So which is, what are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5. Or your event can be getting perfect square. What are the perfect square in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 1 and 4. Or your event can be getting a number greater than 2. So what is this? 3, 4, 5, 6. Or your event can be getting Rajnikant. Now the doubt. When you roll a die, we never get Rajnikant. Am I clear? So that is called impossible event. Now, how many such events we can create? So we have a very beautiful result from set theory. The result is this. If a set contains n elements, then the number of distinct events possible is given by 2 power n. Number of distinct events, or sorry, subsets. Number of distinct, okay, let me put this way. Number of distinct subsets of S will be 2 power n. But mathematically subset is what? It is event only. So number of events also 2 power n. So similarly, this sample space is having 6 outcomes. Then number of distinct events on S would be how many? By formula it is 2 power 6, that is 64. So how many distinct subsets are possible? 2 power 6, 64 distinct. Like this I written only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I written, but distinct 64 distinct events we can create, distinct ones. Now if you see getting Rajnikant is empty, getting Sridhar is empty. Like that if you go on putting names, I can create infinitely many events. Similar ones I can create infinite. I am saying distinct events are possible is 2 power 6. So when you roll a dice, these are this type of, not this type of 64 distinct events are possible. Have you ever written the 64 distinct events in your life? Hopefully no one would have written that. Okay, because we don't have any other work to do or what? Obviously we never write. Am I clear? So we need to understand this point very, very clearly. Okay, so when you know a problem means this is not the problem in probability. This is the problem. They ask when a die is rolled, what is probability of getting odd number, they'll ask. What is probability of getting even number? Probability of event, they'll ask. So the problem is probability of event. So when you say you know this problem means you should know all the events. Have you ever done all the events? No one will do it. Am I clear? So this is where probability becomes very complex. Now I take one more example. Suppose a card is drawn. Suppose a card is drawn from pack of 52 cards. So when you draw a card from pack of 52 cards, how many cards are there in pack of 52 cards? Obviously 52 cards. So there are like 4 shoots will be there. In each shoot ace, numbers 2 to 10, jack, queen, king. Like 13 cards will be there. Okay, 13 into 4, 52 cards. So total 52 cards are there. I am not listing 52 cards. So when you draw a single card, Number of distinct events possible. Number of distinct events possible. Distinct I am saying again. 2 power 52. Can you ever write down all the 52, 2 power 52 distinct events? We can never do it. So we need to understand whenever a random experiment is given, if a particular question is asked, that is probability of a particular event is asked, you just need to understand what is the event and what are the favorable outcomes of that particular event. Okay, what people do, instead of handling that particular event, they put some more conditions. Means they want to handle different events and they feel that they can handle every event in the world. You cannot do it. 2 power 52, can you do it? 2 power 52 events, can you write down? Distinct ones I am saying distinct ones. Similar ones, infinitely many. Am I clear? So you can make it simple or you can make it complex by making, different wrong combinations. So instead of handling the given event, if you put some more conditions and some more constraints, you will be worried about some other event. How can you handle all the events? Because you cannot write 2 power 52, right? We need to understand. Is it clear? So probability will be very simple if you understand what is the given experiment and what is the given event. You can easily understand. See, it is the basic stage where you are just handling the event. Later stage, we combine the events. Event 1 or event 2. Event A or event B. Event A and event B. A or B or C. Like that you can combine event. Then the things will get more complex. We need to use addition theorem. We need to use conditional probability multiplication theorem. That is secondary stage. In primary stage, single event, how to handle it. That is what we are going to learn. Okay. So how can you make it simple, sir? Just whenever a particular problem is given, try to understand what is random experiment. Then try to understand what is sample space for the random experiment. Then understand the event. Means what are the favorable things for the given event. The favorable outcomes for the given event. Once you understand, you can handle basic level problems very easily. Am I clear? Using the classical definition of probability, we can handle. Okay. So this is what I want people to understand when you start probability. Am I clear?